reason.
I don't want to say, did it rip your heart out because you thought they was disrespecting the flag?
That's what I was getting to.
Okay.
I had a complete misunderstanding at that point of what the purpose of kneeling during the national anthem was. It didn't take very long before I had my eyes were opened to what the actual purpose of that was. And realistically, I mean, that's a big part of why I even joined the military, was to fight for the right to do things like that. So for me to stand by and be like, no, that's wrong, regardless how I feel about it, then that makes me hypocritical to begin with. But I think the most moving thing that I've seen in recent days with the teams taking this on was the fact that even though some of the team members are standing for their own convictions, everybody is still embracing each other. And they understand, like I read a whole article about, there was a white guy that stood out of respect for his family members who are in the service and what that anthem means to him. But at the same time, he had two black ball players kneeling next to him, and they were embracing each other at the same time. So I thought that was powerful in itself.
The three of them?
Yeah.
What you got to say, Jake?
I think we should respect everyone's Fifth Amendment right. If I know you're a decent, respectable person, and you choose to stand for the flag, you choose to stand for the national anthem, I won't hold it against you. If you choose to kneel in support of Black Lives Matter, I won't hold it against you, because you both are protected under the Fifth Amendment, for freedom of expression, your personal conviction. It doesn't.
But that's the Fifth Amendment?
First Amendment.
First Amendment?
I know what you meant. It's a
First Amendment.
That's right. First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of expression.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, he
Yes.
just
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of decent guys out there who respect the flag and they choose to stand for the flag, and I have no problem with that. I really respect him by the same accord. If you practicing and you preaching the Black Lives Matter movement legitly, not no hoodlums and thugs, legitly, you want equality and justice, that's why you're kneeling, I will respect that.
The NBA, if you think about it though, what was it when Allen Iverson and all them guys started dressing the way they wanted to, and they wanted to bring hip hop into the NBA, and the NBA closed it all down? We gonna put you in the dress code. We gonna put you in this, and we gonna put you in that. Maybe if the NBA back then would have did what they did and supported the Black Lives back then, why the NBA gotta wait for some tragedy to happen, and then now all of a sudden we want to do it now because tragedy happened, but you guys didn't want to support the Black Lives back then, the way they grew up, the way they dressed, the way they lived, but now all of a sudden you guys want to do it when somebody dies. The NBA is hypocritical. You can't all of a sudden now we want to fall in the line. Now we want to support them because they know they have to support them because that's where their money come from. And that's the only reason why they really doing it, because they got to keep the owners and the billionaires want to keep their money coming. So now we have to do this now, but you could have did it before.
Do you think like the players are making, I mean, you see everything that's happening in the world, but the
Right.
players are just speaking out and speaking out and
Yeah,
speaking
there's
out.
more publicity and the more media, more social, you know what I'm saying? It's out there more.
Because even on the backs of their jerseys, they got Black Lives Matter, Freedom for All, whatever they feel like put on the back of their shirt that makes sense.
Okay, that's true too.
Yeah.
But what are they gonna do when they open these arenas back up? Are they gonna let that are they gonna still let that go? Because now they're like they're in a bubble. We still got control of this.
Right.
It's-
And see,
You
that's
guys
what
want to do this, and this.
And that's why LeBron chose not to put that on the back of his jersey, even though he's spoken about all this stuff, but he wanted to keep the Lakers. They put their regular names on their jersey. They didn't do all that.
How'd you feel about it?
I mean, I don't feel nothing really, to be honest with you. The Black Lives Matter, I seen that on the court, and I was just like, whoa, they got Black Lives Matter on the court? And then it was just like, okay, so I'm seeing everybody playing and doing their thing, and I'm seeing all the back of the jerseys, and so I'm not even really watching the game. I'm looking at the back of their jerseys, seeing what they got on the back of their jerseys. And
The
so,
WNBA is doing it too.
Huh?
The girls is doing it too.
yeah.
Yeah, the girls is doing it. But I'm just saying, with this world, we gotta stop waiting for some tragedy to happen
True that.
before to change. Why does it have to become a tragedy?
I think
Right.
part of what Brian's getting at is like back when Cap did it,
Mm-hmm.
he lost his entire career for doing it. And now all of a sudden, all
He's
the
a
leagues
hero.
are okay with everybody doing it.
He's a hero,
So
yeah.
does that make it, from the league standpoint, is it just a pacifier?
Yep.
I think so. I mean, personally, I do think it is a pacifier to keep people quiet because
Want to keep their money coming.
people are gonna keep talking, and the players are gonna talk. So you're gonna let them talk, but they still in the bubble. They still get paid, or by the owners, and the owners own the company. So I mean, they might not even be at the meetings or whatever. They just like whatever. They ain't caring about
Let
what
'em
goes
do it.
on. Yeah, let them put Black Lives Matter. It don't matter.
We still
You
getting
know?
paid.
But that's just how I feel personally. But
All right, so
how you feel?
one of the things that I feel
Okay, I can't.
that's going on.
Thank you. You got to when you're speaking, you can take your mask off so everyone can hear you, so your audience can hear.
Right.
I'm trying to protect y'all.
I understand.
we keeping it safe. We keeping it safe. One of the things I think that is something that has to be remembered is that change never comes on its own. It never
Right.
happens neatly. It never happens the way you want it to.
And it
All
don't
right.
happen
So
overnight.
this wasn't going to be something that happened out of the goodness of these owners' hearts. None of this was. The fact that they're talking about it every day, you think these people want to be talking about Black Lives Matter? You think they want to be talking about George Floyd? The people made them do it. Just like the people made them do it during the civil rights, during the civil rights movement. This stuff has to happen the way that it did. It took tragedy.
Right.
It took all these things. It took the world to go on fire and people to do protests and the people be marching on the streets on an unprecedented level.
Right.
It
so
had
hold
to
on,
be
hold
that
on,
in
hold
order
on.
for this to
Let me
happen.
say something. So, do you think that everybody in the NBA agrees with having Black Lives Matter on the basketball
I definitely
court?
don't think that they don't. Not everybody believes in it, but the fact of the matter is, you cannot. If it wasn't the overwhelming majority of people that were behind this, you wouldn't have Black Lives Matter painted on the court. This is
Right,
a multi.
right.
Hold on,
So-
let me finish though. This is a multi-billion-dollar organization. Okay, they're not making any quick out of nowhere decisions. This is a calculated look. The world wants this. The majority of the people want this. So just because you and you don't like it, this is what the majority of the people want now. That's the power of what this movement has done in 2020. It's just something that we haven't seen before on this level.
That's true. We
And
have
so
not seen it.
so we can go back to all the times that the league has been hypocritical, has been against us, and all of that. You can do that and point at every different organization and powerful organization in this country and say, well, where were you at then? They weren't with us then. That's the point.
Some of us wasn't even born back then. So,
Exactly,
I mean,
but that's the point. They never were with us, and now they are. So the fact that we have this kind of change going on is huge. And
I just hope that they're really with us. You know what I mean? I just hope that they're really with the movement.
but what
They're
does that
just
mean?
not
That
blowing
they're really
smoke.
with us? What does it mean? Really? How much
Like
more
folks
with us
can
can
say
they
you
be?
putting a pacifier in your mouth just to keep people quiet, keep people thinking that we
What
gonna.
would qualify them as really being behind us in your mind? What could they do more than anything that they're doing right now? What would be an
I
actual
mean, I really
for real?
don't. I really don't have that answer right now for you.
I think-
I'm just saying. I don't think that everybody agrees with that.
I'm sure they don't.
You
That's
know
the
what I
point,
mean?
though.
And I'm talking about owners and people who work in the offices, but they
Now
accept
remember,
it.
sometimes majority wins.
Majority
But that's the point.
And majority right now is all the people out there protesting. So
Thank
big
you.
ups to all the
There you go.
protesters and the people fighting for common rights, for equal rights for everybody, But
You asked what more could they do? to prove that it's not just a pacifier. I don't think there's an action an additional action that they could necessarily take.
No.
I think the proof is going to come in the longevity of the actions that they've
And
started.
That's
There
it.
you go.
Okay.
And that's it.
Right.
And,
There
and
you
the
go.
thing is, because all of this stuff is going to look like
after this, we're gonna
pacifying.
go to focus.
Yeah.
All of this is going to look like pacifying right now because it is reactionary to what's going on. But the fact of the matter is, we've been upset about things. We've had injustices for years and nothing happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that they have actually done something now means a million times more than anything else because this is something that is causing change.
And big ups to the NBA and the WNBA and all those people who's stepping up and looking out for the cause because I mean it's been a big movement over the years and like you say it's a big thing to see Black Lives Matter
Absolutely.
on an NBA basketball court.
Think about where we were
And all
3
that.
years ago.
So,
3 years
yeah,
ago.
So yeah, that's
Colin
real.
Kaepernick ran out of the league for it.
Right, and that was football, and that's man. And I know there were some teams who needed a quarterback,
But wait,
but they just blackballed them.
You also, but also to
A
that
good
to that,
quarterback,
To that
not
fact,
just any quarterback.
Roger Goodell himself said he was wrong. I mean, this is the
Oh,
crazy
yeah, they
part about
gonna say they
this. He
wrong.
said he was wrong for Kaepernick. Think about this. This was something that would be unfathomable back in 2016 when Colin Kaepernick first got the whole thing behind him with the
You
kneeling
think he
and all
deserved
that.
back pay?
So what?
Think he deserved back pay?
Oh, most definitely.
You think every owner owes him
Hold up.
some money
No,
because they blackballed?
I think the league owes him money.
Okay, but he did get some money.
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
some money,
yeah.
but
He got-
I'm
he
just
got
saying,
his- he
just
got
because
paid
now
his
they
money.
going and saying I'm wrong, we wrong, we should have let him play.
That's a
We
new
should've
game.
signed him.
It's a new thing.
Yeah,
Kaepernick gets some extra
you know what I'm
money.
saying? Everybody,
He got
everybody-
money for a settlement that
Right,
with them.
right,
And
right.
that was a different thing. Now
That's-
this is the actual admission.
Like,
saying
I
mean, we're our fault.
Like I could have been
Should he
making
be able to sue him for like, you know what
back
I'm saying?
pay because he could have been
Defamation of
making
character
what
type shit.
10
if
million,
they're
20
not giving
million
it
a
to
year.
him, if he don't get signed at some point in the near future, I think he's got a case because
Yeah,
you actually have the guy. But we don't know. We don't know also the particulars of the deal. Though
In
the
the
deal might have
contract,
said
the
when he got the
settlement.
money that maybe he can't do that. Who knows?
But he did get. They just paid him out his contract. Where they
They
owed.
paid him out his
Right.
contract.
So they paid
and
him what they
gave
owed.
him-
Right, but we
and
don't.
they gave him
we,
a settlement.
we just don't know what the fine print though is. All I'm
Right.
saying. Those
Yeah,
contracts
right,
are tricky.
right.
Those contracts are tricky.
You can't say this and
But
you can't say that.
we all know that they should have let Kaepernick in the league, and they shouldn't have tripped out when he knelt for cause
Take a
that
team
he.
to a Super Bowl
you know.
and then all of a sudden we don't like you because you kneeling.
Nah, they was mad because the Seahawks was whooping their tail.
Next
All right, focus.
All right.
What you got, man?
I want to talk about something that's had me heated for a couple of weeks now, because of something that I saw in the real world, not just in the media or in the news. This whole coin shortage that we've been hearing about.
Coins. Y'all been keeping all the coins in your jars and stuff, man. Spend your
Now,
coins.
I went and did some research because I wanted to get the real lowdown of why the government is saying that there's a coin shortage. And basically, they're saying because of the COVID outbreak, people weren't using as much cash, so the coins weren't circulating. And on top of that, they said that the services that people use quite often, like Coinstar, where you cash in your coins, there was a problem with those services. So they weren't working correctly.
Really?
Strange
How they gonna
coincidence.
shut Coinstar down?
Strange coincidence. But the Federal Reserve has said that they were working with the U.S. Mint to try and resolve this situation as quickly as possible. The thing that I'm tripping about is two things, actually. One, coins aren't perishable. So all the coins are still out there somewhere. Where did the coins go? And number two, I personally have been in 3 different stores over the last couple of weeks that had signs up behind the register that said, if you pay in cash, we do not give you change.
Really? So,
Because of the coin shortage. So you're telling me that you're just going to keep some of my money because of something that has nothing to do with me?
Tell them to round that off to the next dollar.
Not if you're keeping it and it belongs to me. I want my penny.
No, I won't.
That's a
So the stuff's just not adding up to me, and I try and be educated when I go into things, but I have a slightly conspiratorial mindset on some things, and it just seems fishy to me. So, what do y'all think?
What you got, Jay?
I would like to know what happens to your change, your 82 cents or your 68 cents. That's my question. What happens to your change if they don't give it to you?
Well, I know some, you know what, when I've been going out sometimes, people always say, do you want to keep the change and just donate it to...
That's one thing, and I don't mind that.
Change to all this other causes and stuff, cancer, whatever they donate the change. It's just like, they just want to keep my 82 cents. Here, all right, just keep it, you know. For
I
cause.
don't mind that if it's going to a cause. But
But
I actually asked one of these stores, okay, if you're not going to give me back my change when I pay in cash, what happens to the change?
But I'm just saying.
And they said that they were directed to deposit that to the bank to start recirculating coins again.
Right. So how do you know they
Someone told you
they don't want to give you
The store
change? So
owner
that's
told me.
just their option of asking you if you want to
Now-
donate your change, so they don't have to give you change back.
Yeah, but that's totally different. They're not donating it to anybody. They're just keeping my change because the government says there's a change shortage.
Now that's crap. What you got to say, bro?
I got about 3 or 4 things for that one. Number one, you know, I work at a gas station. I deal with coins all damn day.
Mhm.
So we, like you said, Marcus, we got that stuff. Would you like to round your change up to donate to such?
Yeah,
That's something totally different.
absolutely.
But these stores, some of these stores might be afraid they gonna catch the coronavirus and they don't want to deal with no change. So just let me put this sign up and say, hey, we ain't dealing with no change. You got to do all debit or credit. To try to get you to do all debit or credit.
Well, then they need.
And then it goes to their bookkeeper too. So then we have to keep track of less books.
Mm-hmm.
Then everything's all on paper. Then we don't have to count the money at the end of the night. Then we ain't got to worry about getting robbed because we ain't got no money up in this store because everything is debit and credit.
So you're thinking those signs are just a
They're trying
deterrent
to
to get
bullshit.
you to not use
Yeah,
cash.
they're trying to get you to use your debit and credit card, and then they're trying to. Then with your transactions, it tells you where you at, what you was doing, and how you was doing. In my store, I was just at the bookkeeper's office a couple days ago. There's a bunch of coins in here. You know what I'm
They
saying?
ain't trying to
So,
give
see,
them
this
up.
is where part of my conspiratorial mind
Right.
starts going. It's like, is this a ploy to get us to go
Go
to a
debit-
cashless
yeah.
society
Now, okay,
without
so,
us even realizing that we're doing it?
okay, so
Right.
I had season tickets to the XFL. So then, well, they call it, what, CenturyLink deal? I just call it Seahawks Stadium Kingdom, whatever.
Right.
But they said, we're not doing no more cash inside the stadium. You had, if you wanted to buy something inside the stadium, you had to go to the little vending machine, put your
Or get,
cash
like,
in
a
there,
prepaid thing.
and get a prepaid card. You could use it outside the stadium like a debit or credit card,
Right.
but inside this stadium, there's no cash, no coins, no nothing. You have to do everything debit or credit on this card.
Right. Now, sorry to cut you off, man.
But go ahead.
I went to the store the other day, and the lady kept coming up saying, you know, you express checkout, you can check your stuff out, but only with a card. Like
Because it's faster and it's quicker.
No, because they don't have no change.
They got change, bro.
They didn't have no change, and that's
that
why
what she said to you?
That's what she didn't say to me. That's what she was saying out loud.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we don't have no
I'm
change.
telling you, it goes with bookkeepers. It goes to bookkeeper stuff too, because
People been collecting.
no,
them
because
coins. What
okay.
you got to
Hold
say,
on, let me
Chief?
just one more thing.
All right,
So
go ahead.
one more thing. If you go to Safeway,
Right.
that's where I work at. You have regular checkout
Yeah.
and you got self checkout, right?
Yeah, self check.
So if you got self checkout and you doing all debit or credit, it's eliminating other people's jobs. it's eliminating less work because there's less stuff, less transactions that they have to take care of.
More
Then
money
you
they
don't
get
have
to
to
keep.
do everything's on paper for the
Right,
debit
right.
or credit. All the transactions are gonna add up. There's gonna be no shorts. There's not gonna be no losses. There's not gonna be no you're $100 short. You're 50 cents short because everything's gonna be all debit or credit.
Calculated, right.
It's all calculated. So then we don't have to worry about why was you $100 short? Because they're gonna call
Right.
down to my station the other day. You guys was
Cause I need
$97
to get
short.
some food for my kids.
Yeah, but if you got all the coins, but if you take all the coins away, you take all the dollars away, you take all the money away, it's less work for the
Right.
next person.
Right.
So they're
See,
trying to.
And it's funny you say that because when I do go to a store, you know, and I see the self checkout, I always go to a line because that's somebody's job, and I want to
I
support.
want to self checkout because I gotta hurry up and get back down to the station.
Is that
'cause
what
I
it
got
is?
work to do.
I
Nine
don't
times
go
out
to
of 10,
self-check.
them self-checkouts, they're
Unless
able to
somebody
take
asks
cash, but it says debit or
They'd
credit.
rather
under
you
it.
do debit or credit.
What you got, T?
I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, but the one that makes the most sense to me that you touched on, what if it's just the coronavirus? I mean, you ever think about people that handle money? Like I worked for like a few weeks in a bank vault, right, for Bank of America. I used to work a long time ago, right? The dirtiest thing in the world is money.
Right.
Like hand-to-hand money, the dirtiest thing in the world.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you're worried about viruses and germs, let's say you're a big Safeway or some big company like that, right? What's the first thing that's gonna shut your business down? Somebody get coronavirus from your
From the
store.
coins.
Yeah. So if you're gonna try to really be careful about that as much as possible, maybe you should eliminate coins. If dollars is dirty, coins is definitely dirty.
I gotta say one
coins
thing.
come from
Hold up. So do you think they sat in the office and say, okay, one of the ideas was let's just stop giving the people coins?
Maybe.
But
I don't know.
if that was, and I could,
I mean, I got nothing
We
else.
just
I'm
gonna
not-
have it be
I
self
can
checkout,
totally-
only debit only, credit
Isn't
only.
that cleaner
totally
though?
see that.
It's cleaner.
Money
I can
changes from
see.
hand to hand to hand to hand to hand.
And
to hand.
somebody said, yeah, that's a smart idea. Let's
I
not
could
give them
totally
coins.
see that happening because of the fact that I got an email about a prop that I ordered that was made out of metal, and they kept it in customs for like 3 months because they said that coronavirus lives on metal longer than any other surface. So I could see that being a possibility, but why
Is
come
that
out
what
and
the
say?
email said?
Yeah, but if that was the case,
Man, you know.
listen though, if that is the case and they're worried
Those
about
containers
passing
be
on
held up.
coronavirus through change, why not just say that instead of saying there's a coin shortage?
Okay, so maybe it's like this. I mean, you work in the film industry and things of that nature, right? So there's always things behind the scenes that you just don't necessarily want to put in the public's mind necessarily before you really promote your stuff, right? You know, it's there, and they know it's there, and you know it's there, but you might not. Maybe your star of your movie had a little drug problem or something like that. They know it's there, you know it's there. You just don't talk about it, right? So the coronavirus thing, maybe you just don't want to mention it as much as possible.
I think
Maybe
that would
just say.
be a bigger
I
deterrent.
mean, I
though.
remember there was a penny shortage at one time where they didn't have enough pennies.
But-
I remember that.
How when we printed our own money?
Okay, but the thing is, a lot
Right.
of people
Hold
are
on.
cash.
But I remember they was saying, "Oh, we having a penny shortage." Ain't no, you know, and it was just
Where'd
like,
it go?
But that's different. It sounds
That was,
better.
that
That
was
sounds
trying
better
to
than
disband
you might-
pennies. You know what I mean?
I'm
This
saying,
is the only
but
brown. I mean,
if
come
there's
on,
a
man.
shortage on
This was
anything,
Brown
where did it
Brothers.
go?
We
But
gotta
doesn't
look
a
out
penny-
for our own, right?
But remember, he
Black
said
Lives
something.
Matter.
He said something about checks and balances, right? Somebody could do the math and say there ain't no penny shortage.
Exactly.
But, so what sounds worse? Saying that there's a penny shortage or saying that you might die if you touch our money. You know, I think that they just don't want to tell people about the coronavirus
Right.
being a part of the money. And they just say, when you get there, they get you to the store and now you're there and they're like, okay, you can get the stuff and we can give you everything. We just ain't got no change. And
Man,
they'll
they
live with it after
need
that.
to
I'm just
sterilize
saying.
all the
I
money.
say two more
It's a
things.
PR thing.
Can they sterilize all the
Two
money
more
as
things.
it come in?
Aaron,
and out?
when you get up out of here, can you give me the names of them stores?
Okay.
And when you go, if you, one day we ran out of gas.
Right.
Okay, this was a long time ago though, right? So we're in the car, right?
Right.
So we dig up under the seats. We dig in all up under the seats. And we found all these coins. And-
So it's your fault.
Right. So we find all these coins. This is all we had to go pay for our gas. And the coins, where do you find coins at? On the ground. in the couch, under the seat.
Right. Every
So
time-
they-
Rona.
Right. There
Every
you
coin
go.
got the Rona.
There you go. Them motherfuckers, they don't want to deal with these dirty ass
It's dirty. The money's dirty.
Yeah,
That's all
coins
it
is
is.
probably
That's all it is. And they're
coins
afraid to
is
touch
probably
it.
the dirtiest
You don't even
thing
want to
in
think
the
about all the
world.
places that coins done been. You don't want to
Right.
think about it.
Yeah, coins is some dirty.
Nasty
Yeah.
places.
Now that's all I can think
Right.
about.
Hey, just leave the
Dirty
coins in
place.
your Folgers coffee cups.
But you gotta remember that water
And
you
water
drink's
bottle.
been filtered.
How many times
Right.
you don't reach in your pocket and have some crusty ass penny that's just all
Oh,
just
yeah.
dirty and
Hey,
just
I got-
hair and
Or
lint?
dig it out of a
gum,
cup holder in the
all
car.
kinds of-
They got a green brown
I done
penny.
seen people
Yeah.
come in my store, man, with $5, $6 with nothing but pennies and dimes, nickels, and quarters.
Hey, but it adds up though, right?
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
So-
So I'm just saying.
Hey, disperse
One
the
thing I
coins.
hate having to do is pay for
Absolutely.
something with a bunch of change. I'll go to Coinstar hella quick, but
Yeah.
I don't like having to sit there, people waiting on me, and I'm trying to count out quarters.
Right.
Right
They
there
spend
is
out-
one of the reasons why they want to get away from it there, because they don't, because like they used to be like, if you come in bringing some coins in here, that's why they invented these coin stores. They try to eliminate change from that's
Right,
what it
right.
is.
Okay. So
You can
yeah.
eliminate change all you want unless you owe me change. Then I want it.
I want all the change.
It's always
Everything.
87 cents.
Right. I want 82 cents, 87 cents, whatever. I got it. Jay, what you got for us tonight?
I'd
My
like to
brother?
touch on. I'd like to touch on Kanye West.
Oh,
I'd like
boy.
to get you guys' opinion on this debacle of a
Hold up. Is he what? Because he's running for president, right?
right.
I thought he dropped out
What
already.
was it?
No.
What'd you-
No.
He back
How
at
you
it?
feel about that?
Well, there are 6 upper level Republicans who are backing him and pushing him all the way.
You know why though?
This is to split the African American vote away from Biden.
Right.
I'd like to get you guys to touch on that, please, Brian.
Well, you gotta come with some more.
Well, they're trying to get him on the ballot for the next 3 weeks. Six Republicans. 6.
Really?
See, I saw a story about that, but I kind of just
They want
Swipe past it
they want
because-
cuckoo puffs in the office.
And his wife has already said he's imbalanced. He has a
well, it's obvious
it's
that he
I-
has
I-
mental
see,
health
it's-
issues.
He cuckoo
And I thought you was gonna mention that because he's made some statements
yes.
that's questionable. You know
Very
what I
much
mean?
so. Beyond questionable. Beyond
yeah.
questionable.
Like
And-
what?
Huh?
Like what? I know.
Slavery was a
Well,
choice.
well.
Yeah,
we know that.
For starters.
Grab people's trophies.
Hey.
Then
That
I'm
was a
gonna
quote.
go-
I'm not
then
saying
I'm gonna
that.
go hang out with the
No, but he
What?
said I know he said something like Harriet Tubman. Excuse me.
Whoa.
Harriet Tubman. Then free the slaves.
Oh,
I
wow.
apologize. I
Correct
totally
yourself.
apologize. Harriet
Oh.
Tubman. I apologize. I
Yeah,
didn't
I
mean
got
for
you,
that
I
to
got
come
you.
out.
Yeah.
I did not mean for that to come out.
Yeah, he just recently
I wouldn't
said
say
something about her,
slippery.
didn't he?
But he said
not
Harriet
gonna come
Tubman
from
didn't
himself.
free the slaves, and he said a bunch of other comments that people were kind of
He
upset
running up
about.
on stage grabbing
Well-
people's awards.
And he was crying on stage, telling his story.
Isn't
and
his
it's like
biggest
an
backer
emotional-
supposed to be one of Trump's backers too?
No, are you kidding me? Not just his biggest backer. He 100% Republican. 100% backing this guy, trying to get this guy on the ballot because there are a lot of
And they
fans who
put
will.
one.
All right. So,
Hold on, what you got, Tim?
look, Kanye West is Trump's biggest backer. Let's just be real about this. This is all for Trump. Okay, this is a distraction
Yeah,
to
exactly.
get people that would probably not vote for Trump
Thank you.
to go and vote for the black guy in that situation, which is Kanye West. Now, here's about Kanye West. Okay,
He's a blocker?
I kind of talked about this.
He's a blocker.
Yeah, definitely. He's a double agent, man. He's already a Trump guy. So he comes out there and now, because there's going to be idiots that are, I'll vote for Kanye, no matter what he said. Oh, he didn't mean this and that. Now, first of all, that's what I said before. I wouldn't trust Kanye West as far as I could throw him. I mean about anything. All right, all that, I'm crazy and I got pills and all that stuff like that, that's a bunch of BS, man. First of all, anytime this guy's got an album coming out, that's when he's crazy and he says things to get him on the news. He got an album coming out. That's what it is. He got some shoes, hold on, the ugly Yeezys or whatever. When he gonna sell those, he comes out and
prison
says something
slides.
crazy. And it's always about black people because that's the conversation. If he came out and said, he can't come out and say, what's he gonna say? Oh, Trump doesn't care about black people. Everybody knows that. Everybody says that. So that wouldn't work. So what he does now
It's gotta be
is he
controversial.
says stuff like Harriet Tubman didn't actually free the slaves. She just sent them on their way to work for other white people. That's what he said.
That's what he
That
said.
was
So
the
here's the
quote.
thing. That was the quote. So here's the thing about Kanye
That was
West,
the
okay? Never before in my lifetime do I remember a black celebrity or personality being more of a sellout, more of a clear Uncle Tom.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ever in my life.
Does anyone
And I'm
disagree
sure
with that?
and I'm sure there's been other ones. But see, what it was, like I said, Kanye West, when he first came out, he's always been fake. He couldn't be a gangster player or nothing like that, so he hung out with the socially conscious rappers, and he sang all the Jesus walks and all of that smart stuff to get people in. So now, okay, now we're with him. But really, he was always this idiot who wanted to be famous
A
and
vote
just say
for
whatever.
Kanye is a vote for Jesus.
A vote for Kanye is a vote for Trump. That's what that is.
Vote for
That's what that
Jesus,
is.
not
He's a puppet
Jesus.
for them, man. He always has been.
But that's what he say though.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, plus-
It's a deterrent for votes towards Biden.
And I agree with that because at some point you gotta figure out why are you in the race? Like, what are you fighting for? You ain't really fighting for nobody. You fighting for yourself, and you fighting for Trump to be in office. Whatever you fighting for, it ain't got nothing to do with your fans. It ain't got nothing to do with the nobody.
Well, the sad thing is he's not really actually in the election, and not
He's
really.
not on some ballots.
Yeah, but he's not in anywhere. He doesn't. He didn't even register in time enough.
He didn't register in time, but they found the
He's
flaw.
doing a Richard Pryor and Brewster's Million, none of the above.
But
If
at the end
anybody
of the day,
remembers Brewster's Millions, when Richard Pryor got all that money, and then he had to see, he had to get rid of all the money. And y'all seen Brewster's Millions?
Yeah, he had to spend it and not,
He had to
not have
spend it,
anything to
and
show
then
for
so
it.
he ran for president so he could donate all the damn money, and then he put none of the above on there because he didn't want to become president. That's Kanye West.
Kanye wasn't
So-
nobody's actual ballot. He ain't gonna be on the ticket. In
right?
November.
Because
But
not too
people
long
think he will.
Not too long ago, he had everybody packed in
It's a smoke
stadiums.
screen.
He had everybody
That's
packed in
smoke screen.
stadiums, and he would have the choir, and he had the preacher, and people would pay money to go to church.
Like it's because it was a
And
concert. He
because
had
it was
food.
him.
Well, no. Okay, well, wait a minute. Here's about
And
that.
that's the thing.
Now,
It's
wait,
like
you know what that was, right? You know what that was? His last album tanked. After he came out and said the slavery was a choice thing and all of that other stuff like that, he thought white America was going to jump on his bandwagon and really be behind him and stuff like that. But really what he did was he lost his core audience, which was the black folks. So what did you see him doing next? Going to church and shouting and getting on stage and be with black people. And,
Blowing up the
do all that stuff now, speaking in tongues, all that stuff like that, singing on planes, because he tried to get black people back. And people are so sheepish that they went along with it. Black
are
folks, I'm sorry, man.
tripping.
I'm sorry.
If they buying them damn clothes and they buying them damn shoes
Yeah.
and wearing that shit, they say,
Man,
and
I swear, if Kanye put out a cut right now that was just filthy, everybody would be like, yeah,
Not
Kanye,
me.
Kanye's back. He's
Not
cool.
me,
You
man.
might
I
not
wish
buy
I
the
had
album,
Not me,
but
man.
you're going to listen to
I
it.
can't-
They're going
I-
to play it everywhere.
I can't mess with you if I know you're completely 100% BS. Now, everybody in the entertainment industry is some level of BS in some way, shape, or form. He's 100% though. It's 100% BS. I don't believe anything he says. One way or the other.
You need to come to the round table so we can talk to you.
Oh, he don't want to talk to me.
That
He don't
would
want
be
to
a
talk to
long
me.
show.
Yeah.
He don't want to talk to me. Believe me. I love that.
I'd love to talk
I would
to
pay
him.
money to sit
I would
across the
love
table
to
with
talk to
Kanye West.
Kanye.
He's not because he know you will expose him.
Oh, like a $3 bill.
But yeah, Kanye, yeah, he's kind of like somebody who's, like you said, he's just out there. He's just trying to find the next thing to keep him popular,
Relevant.
to keep him relevant, to keep him going. And running for president, I mean, he's gonna steal some votes,
Publicity,
I'm
my
sure.
brother,
But it's gonna, it's gonna mess up everything. You gotta have that imbalance, and they want that imbalance. The Republicans.
On a
They-
serious note, though,
yeah, they need that
you
imbalance.
say you disrespect my ancestors. You say something as idiotic as slavery was a choice. You're a black man with a podium. With all the eyes in the world on you, can
Especially
make
where
major
we
change.
are.
And
I
you say
wonder
slavery was a choice.
And I wonder if, like, back in the day,
I'm
when
done
he
with you.
would, when he
Major
would be
change.
doing,
Somebody
like, what would
needed-
Kanye be
somebody-
doing back in
He would
the
have been.
day?
He'd have been in the
ask him
house
that
talking
question.
about
I was
they
just gonna
trying to
say
escape, master. They trying to escape.
He's doing that shit for Trump right now.
That's what he was doing.
Real
Doing that shit
talk.
for
They
Trump
trying to
right
escape.
now.
Right.
let me ask one more
Hey, but
question.
go ahead, and then we gonna move to Brian.
Let me ask one more quick question. It could just be a yes or no answer, real quick, and it's based off of something that you said. When it comes to musicians or artists of any kind, it could be an actor, anything. Are you able to separate great art
Ooh, I know where you're going.
from the individual?
I know where you're going with that one.
Hey,
For example, real quick example,
Oh, hey.
like with Kanye.
I ain't even gonna.
There is a few songs that I think was absolutely genius, but I refuse to put any money in this pocket. On the other hand, there's also a few songs from another artist that is in prison now.
So what's the?
But when I hear those songs, it takes me back to a beautiful place in my childhood. So
He's saying
We
can
ain't
they
gonna
separate the
say
art from the artist.
we ain't gonna
Exactly.
separate. We ain't gonna say no names. But
Just-
yeah, I love my man's music too.
I'll say
You
it.
know, I like good
There you
music,
go.
and I like good. You know, I like to hear good music.
But
good
can you just cut and dry, yes or no? Can you separate the art from the artist,
It's hard,
regardless how messed up his
Right, hold
life may
up.
be or whatever?
Hey, and I agree with you. You can separate it, but then sometimes you think if you listen to the lyrics, he got a message in the lyrics.
Yeah,
and you
this
be
is
thinking
true.
like,
You talking about R. Kelly?
Thank you. I didn't know.
Keep it real. That's what we're talking
Right.
about here. We're talking about the Pied Piper.
No, we've been talking about Kanye. We've been talking about Kanye West.
Come
but,
here, little girl.
But you know,
Come on,
but
man.
you
Pied
got it.
Piper R&B. You knew what he was talking about.
I didn't,
When he
but
said
thank
it.
you.
When he said it.
Yeah.
I didn't know
He
then.
told you in the beginning.
That-
He told you back in '94. Age ain't nothing but a number.
And he was a young. He was in his
He told-
20s, 30s.
And he,
30s.
she was in her 13s and
He was in his
14s.
30s.
He said it a long time ago.
He told
but
you back
anybody
then.
wasn't,
Yeah,
but
Cardi-
people
yeah,
weren't
Cardi-
catching on.
Yeah,
You know,
Kills, we
my
might
mind's
need to.
telling me no.
Yeah, Kills, we might need to talk to you.
But my body. He
Yeah,
told you
everybody's
back then.
talking. But yeah,
So, real
Kills, we
quick,
might need
just
to talk
around
to
the
you. Go
table.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yes or no?
Brian.
Can you separate the two?
Yeah.
Great
Yes.
music
That should be unanimous.
from
Yeah, you have
a
to.
messed up person.
I,
You
see,
have
I don't agree. I don't agree that it's that cut and dry because, like I said, I agree that certain music, like okay, there's certain people that we don't know the whole story on, like the Michael Jackson thing, right?
Exactly.
So I don't know the whole picture, so it's just enough of a window for me to be like, I'ma still rock with you all night. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know
But
the whole
you know,
story.
but hold up.
But,
Do
you
you
know-
know R. Kelly
But I'm not coming to
personally?
Neverland.
But see,
Do you know Kanye personally?
Here's the thing, but here's
Do you
the-
know any artist personally?
This is
Like,
where I'm gonna get you. I'm getting ready to tell you. So what I'm saying with R. Kelly, I don't necessarily have a problem. If I was, I wouldn't go buy a ticket or buy something to support him now, knowing the actual facts. I mean, it's pretty much 100%. We know that he pretty much did this stuff, right? But see, the difference is Kanye West, the type of art that he did. R. Kelly is on video. We got proof. All right. So, but the thing about the type of art that Kanye West does is what makes it hard for me to listen to him because it's not just a song where you turn your brain off and just listen to it, right? The stuff that he used to talk about, the stuff that made him famous, the things that made him who he was, is all bullshit because in the same breath he's going out and saying the opposite now.
Okay.
So it's not
So
real.
So
Go
if you
ahead,
at the
Brian.
club, right?
Yeah.
You at the club, right?
Yeah.
And this broad walk up on you,
Come on now.
and the R. Kelly song come on, and she pull
Step
you
in
to
the
the,
name
and she
of
pull you,
love.
and
Come
she
on, man.
pull you to the middle of the motherfucking floor.
I
and
just
then-
said, I just
Oh,
said,
no, hold up. You gonna get out there and bump and grind,
Hey, look,
right?
man, look, I'm
Get out there and bump and
I'm
grind,
a
all right?
I don't see
I'm
nothing
very
wrong
bad.
with it.
I'm very bad.
You okay?
I'm
So
very
it was
bad.
your wife.
I'm
So
very
if it's
bad.
your wife.
All right, everybody.
But if it was back in the day,
Okay.
look, but I just said, I just
After
said,
today, right now, your wife pulled you out to the song and bump and grind. You ain't going out there.
I might step in the name of love with one or two beats. You know what I'm saying? Step back in the day.
Back to Kanye.
Yes, a couple steps.
Was there never a Kanye track that you was like, oh, this is the shit?
No,
Through the
no,
wire
no,
was
the
the shit.
opposite. The opposite. I went to a Kanye West show. I was a fan.
Man.
Like, I was a big. I went to his show and
I'll raise my hand even though I'm the host.
yo.
I'm just clowning. But no, I went to a Kanye West concert, man, and that was like one of the most horrible experiences that I went to.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
Now
so
hold up. Let me check this. I went to see Kanye and Jay-Z when they came out. good ass concert. I went to see Kanye and Kendrick Lamar. Okay, this cat stood out in the middle of the floor like this for like 15 minutes, and everybody's supposed to be cheering and all the ladies.
got him on the back.
It's
I
like,
was
come
hella
on,
disappointed in
man.
that show.
I was falling asleep. I was like, man, I'm out of here, man. It just wasn't a good concert. It wasn't a good show.
No.
It just, he had a
I'm big
mask
on-
on, and it was just felt
I came
dark.
up
mask?
in,
Yeah,
I came
it's
up in the
kind of
music
evil
industry
mask.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I'm big on stage presence.
Yeah.
When I go, if I'm going to pay money to come see you perform live, I don't want to just see you stand there full of yourself.
Yeah, he stood there for like 15 minutes. I might be exaggerating, but he
Y'all
stood
I was
Give
there.
way too
I know
much
what you're
time.
talking about. I was there.
But he sees
Come
himself
on.
as that.
So, and
you
it
know,
was like,
but you
say
know what-
something, do something, entertain us, something, but you just, I'm not feeling this.
But see, the thing is, when he first came out, see, he had this thing where he was just being a rapper, socially conscious and all that. So when he first came out, it was good for like the first 3 or so albums. Then the more of his actual personality started seeping its way into his music. And that's when you caught him at that Kendrick, because he was already over the line at that point. 'Cause
Yeah,
I saw him a few
that-
years
that
before
was-
that.
That was after
I
he
saw him
started
a few
calling
years before
himself
that.
Yeezus.
All
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Let's
right.
move on to
Right.
Brian now.
Right, we're gonna move on. But yeah, that was after that concert though, I stopped messing with Kanye.
you saw the real
I
Kanye.
didn't
I knew
like.
early on that I wouldn't really ever mess with Kanye on an individual level.
Right.
But I mean, it could be 20 years from now, and there's still some Kanye songs.
And I
that
like Kanye.
when they
He's
come
a-
on, I'm like, oh yeah.
He got good beats
That was
and
the
stuff.
one.
He has a
It's
good.
hard for me to hear you
He has a
say
good work ethic. You
we
know?
got to get our 40 acres and all that after I hear you say slavery was a choice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't mess with you.
yeah.
All right,
Hello,
so
people.
man, hello
How y'all?
people. We here at the King of the Round Table.
what they
We
saying.
going
What's
in.
good?
Urban Solutions, where we got solutions for your soul. We having a conversation like we always do every Friday. And man, B, what you got for us tonight,
I got
man?
2 things. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to my sister. Her birthday was yesterday.
Happy
Happy
birthday, sis.
And she passed away already. Some of y'all
Oh,
already know.
Sorry to hear
So
that.
we doing
Yeah,
a barbecue for
condolences.
tomorrow in memory of my
Condolences.
sister. Anyways, happy birthday, sis. I love you.
Rest in peace, please.
And speaking of that, I want to, you know what I'm saying? It's already going around. Y'all already know what it is. So, do you want to die, or you want to go to jail for the rest of your life? All you young cats that's out here shooting each
Yeah.
other. All you young cats out here thinking that because you carrying a gun, you the man, you the shit, whatever. What's your choice? Do you want to be dead quick, or you want to live in the penitentiary for the rest of your life? Which one is it? Because I'm highly confused on which one you guys want to do. Y'all talk all that shit and talk all that stuff. Y'all need to stop killing each other. Man, y'all need to find another form, another way to figure out y'all's problems instead of shooting and killing each other. Because one of y'all going to jail and one of y'all going to be dead. Some of y'all out there getting away with it, but you still going to wake up with nightmares. You still going to wake up with other stuff going on in your brain. Man, stop killing each other. Y'all destroying yourself. And then you find out one of them, it might be your cousin. It might be your relative. Seattle's too small. Y'all stop killing each other. If y'all got a problem, man, call me and let me see if I can go solve a problem with the other person that y'all got a problem with. Slow it down, man. Stop killing each other.
That's real talk because, I mean,
Very
this
true.
year, man, I didn't lost.
Thank you, sir. Very true.
That's real talk. This year, man, we done lost like some students, like 4 students on some random gun violence act, and one of the little homies who got murdered by the little homie, and it's just like we all know who everybody is in Seattle. We all know. I mean, come on, man. I just seen his face on the news the other day, and it's sad because I used to try to help this dude and talk to this dude, and for some reason, violence is like what people thrive off of. People want violence. People need violence. It's like gun violence, fighting, whatever. Some people just want that
They get their
violence.
rocks on.
Unfortunately.
And nobody has no de-escalation skills. Nobody want to calm down. I just seen a video where this guy bumped into this guy. He looked like he turned around and said sorry to him. And the guy ran up on him, and they had a few words. Next thing you know, they was fighting. And the dude who ran up on the guy who said he was apologized, he ended up shooting him.
You talking about the one on the street corner?
Yeah, that was, it was on the street corner, but
Yeah,
man, I didn't see people getting their head blown off. It was just like, wow, really, is violence? I mean, even gun violence, because, you know, the guns aren't killing people. People who pull the trigger with the gun, they killing people. And it's like, why even put yourself in a predicament to squeeze the trigger if it's over something small?
And I
Go
get the whole heat of the moment thing. Trust me, I'm Irish. I'm about as Irish as it gets. Fourth generation
Go
Irish
from
American.
0 to 100 real quick.
So my temper, it's taken me over 20 years to finally get to a point where I can walk away and
Right.
not just flash over the simplest shit.
I don't want to cut you off, Mark. I mean, Aaron, but that's what I'm talking about right there. Because what you do at you 16, 17, 18, 15, 14.
And trust me, I'm still paying for some of that stuff now.
But I'm just saying, for as
Some
you
people
know
ain't
how to
making it
control
to
your
20.
temper now. You understand what I'm saying? So then, when you've been in the joint 20 years, because you went at 18, now you in your 40s. Now all of a sudden you got your wits, you got your brain, you got your maturity, and there ain't no coming back.
Yeah,
Because you in this one for the rest of your life.
yeah.
So what can we do to help these kids stop killing each other?
Before we get to that,
Man,
Before we
and
get to that.
That's the sad reality of just.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, so
That's a sad reality.
unfortunately, only part of it is in our hands.
Right.
Every one of us at this table can abide by the whole each one teach one
Right.
mentality. But at the end of the day, that only takes us halfway there because the child needs to want to learn from one of us too.
Right. But then they get forced into the system. Then they have to learn. But then they never coming home.
But sometimes these kids get forced into the game. They get forced into this
Right.
lifestyle. They get forced into the guns,
Man,
into the drugs, until they, you know,
I
and
read
it's not
that,
even
bro.
they get forced. They get
Right.
coerced. You know what I mean?
You come from the same blocks I come from.
Right, right,
You know, I grew up on Juno.
right.
I started with the BS. That's what I wanted to do.
Me too. I grew
Yeah,
up on the hilltop.
Yeah,
Who
that's what I'm
didn't?
saying. That's what I
So-
wanted to do.
Who
I wanted to
didn't?
go get me a gun. I wanted to go get the cars. I
Had
wanted
a
to
bunch
go.
of them,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I wanted to
That was-
go. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
that
That's
was-
the problem. That
That
was
was
the
what
thing
you
to
look
do.
forward to each day.
Right.
How am I going to earn some stripes today?
Right. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I got a bullet in my back. You know what I'm saying? We need what we need to do. There's got to be. We ain't gonna be able to. You know what I'm saying? Change the whole shit.
we're not gonna be able to say tomorrow. I think. is what
Right.
I'm saying.
But if we see somebody we know, or one of these kids that know somebody, they got a problem with somebody, don't be scared to try to de-escalate the problem, man. You know what I'm saying? They need to reopen some community centers. They need to reopen. You know what I'm saying? There's gotta be some. If they got this change going on in the NBA and the WNBA, we need to change it in the streets too.
And it's funny you say that because even with this coronavirus and stuff going on, I would think that some of the violence will be down around here. You
They
know
ain't
what I
got nothing
mean?
else to do, bro.
But it's like
It's
the
escalated.
innocent kids that's being killed. It's like you're not even 20 years old. You're not even 19. You know what I mean? And rest in peace, Pierre. But my nephew got killed when he was 16. Well, he wasn't even 6. He was like 15. He got killed in 2008 on my son's birthday.
Yeah.
So it's bittersweet every year on my son's birthday. You know, my
Bittersweet
son just
March
turned
20.
20. His birthday, happy birthday, son, but he just turned 20. And then every year I got to think
Happy
about my
birthday, young
nephew.
man.
You know, and not only that, you know, his uncle got murdered in 93. So imagine how his mom feels.
Second
She lost-
generation.
She lost a son and a grandson to gun violence, street violence. And they was just walking down the street, or, you know, they wasn't bothering nobody. They wasn't committing a crime. They wasn't doing anything, just simple gun violence. I mean, and it's sad. And there's robberies going on, and there's I mean, different situations going on. I've seen a situation where, you know, we're talking about gun violence, we're talking about violence. When you go to YouTube or you go to these little World Star videos, You see these people fighting. You got kids running with cell phones looking at these people getting beat up, laughing and smiling, while somebody's child is getting mopped up. You see what I'm saying? By 2 or 3 people, feeling whatever they doing to her. It's sad.
You mean society got kids growing up looking at a lot of violence and it should stop? Is that your position?
And they need to stop recording, because if they could have stepped in when George Floyd was getting murdered.
Could have calmed that down.
Right. But it's like you videotape. We're just gonna videotape and watch because we got you on tape now. We can see what's going on. But it still don't stop nothing. It don't stop the violence. And if the violence reached to 100, anything could happen. Any one of us could blow up at any moment just because somebody looked at us wrong or said something wrong. And if you're having a bad day and you want to take it out on somebody, it can happen.
Yeah, you might not even mean to.
Right.
They
you
hit that
might
button.
apologize later, but
of course.
Speaking of that button, subscribe.
Subscribe to our YouTube because we in the game.
Hit that notification bell.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, one of the things I think that needs to happen when it comes to violence is I think we gotta find a different approach to talking to the youth, to talking to kids. I don't know what that is. I'm not the expert. I just
Right. What kind of?
No, listen. I'm not saying I know. I'm not saying I got the exact answer. I'm saying there's gotta be. We gotta find a way
All
to
of the
reach
tactics
them.
that we have to use right now, they've heard.
Right.
Yeah, T. But I'm just saying, I'm not like
You gotta talk to them
like
the way they
Go
talk.
ahead.
But I'm just want to know, like, what
You
kind
can't-
of approach can
gotta talk to
you use?
them.
So here's
Like, what do you think? What kind of approach can we
Okay,
use?
so I'm gonna give you a
to
personal
reach
example.
these kids.
I
to
got an
stop
approach.
shooting
I got an approach.
each
If you
other.
got a problem with somebody and you need somebody else to go solve that problem with somebody, call somebody that knows that person. Or call me. I'll go talk to them. 206-227-4991.
All right, so here's the thing.
Man,
So
real talk.
just in my experience, okay. So like a lot of guys, like you've been shot, obviously, and you talk about that a lot. You come from the streets. You come from all these different areas, right? So I was always that brother who was always like hood adjacent, right? So like I grew up on Raider Beach, Beacon Hill. So no, listen to what I'm saying. No, you were from. This is what I'm saying. You were from the major areas and all that stuff like that too. And so I was always somebody who was there, but I was always somebody who was outside of the game. You know what I'm saying? So I was always one of the people who was able to, like, I could go hang out with my friends that live in the South End, and I could go hang out with my friends that live in the CD.
Right.
And so
All day.
but what I'm saying is I wasn't ever in the mix. You know what I'm saying? In the major mix of
You
what
had
was
friends,
going on.
but you
I
weren't
had
necessarily
friends, but I wasn't
affiliated.
doing that. And while that might not get you, you know, certain stripes and certain things of that nature, it's a little bit easier to live though. You know what I'm saying? Like I was able to go to parties and kick
You
it,
didn't have to
and
worry
I
about
wasn't
what side
stressed
of
on that.
town you ended up on.
And so what I'm saying is it's in the approach. It's not some holier than thou approach, because I've had plenty of problems in my life or whatever, and then life has been hard in a lot of ways. Life is already hard. So don't give yourself these extra problems by getting all this other stuff, because God, with all the issues that I've had in my life, if I had to worry about getting shot or getting jumped all the time, and I was able to actually move around and be around places. So I think that kids need to be taught in a certain way to understand, to not make permanent decisions out of short-term emotions. So whatever's making you mad, somebody talking about somebody dissing you, somebody's, you know, whatever. You can't worry about that kind of stuff like that, because this stuff goes quick.
Yeah.
You mean permanent? You mean
Escalate.
quick decisions
Quick,
that
bang.
have permanent results?
This is what I'm saying. Don't make permanent decisions out of short-term emotions you feeling right now, because that's gonna go away.
It's temporary.
It's temporary. You're gonna grow up and grow older, like you were talking about. You're gonna go through so many changes in life. The stuff that you're dealing with right now, it does not mean anything.
At the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, when you got people who ain't in their right mind, like on lean, or they just drunk, or they on something that's gonna push them over the edge, I mean, it's hard to stop that part. You know, it's like they wake up in prison or something, or wake up in jail, wondering what they done did.
So we're talking about a
That-
whole.
that's a whole
we're talking
different
about a whole
category.
different level
It's
of
violence.
But what I'm saying is this: obviously, there is never. I'm talking about 5, 10, 15, 50 years from now. There's never going to be a way to stop violence or stop people from
Yeah, you
being
can't- you
stupid.
can't prevent it.
That'll never happen. So
No,
we can no,
100%.
we can talk about it too with blue in the face or whatever. It's never going to happen. So on an individual case by case basis, we need to find different ways and different approaches. And all we can do is reach who we can reach, right? Who we're next to and around. And when I've been around people that I know are in the game, they got people that are pulling them this way and that way. The way that I try to approach it is I try to just give them my little stuff about stuff that I've seen and stuff that I've been through in my life, and that's without the extra drama that you got going on. And just talk to them on that level. Life is long. Life is, if you live long enough, it's gonna be long and tough as long as you go. If you do stuff now, you only get a certain amount of time in life to make big mistakes. You can make a lot of little mistakes throughout your life, but you can only afford to make a couple of big mistakes.
Which is what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
That's exactly
What
right.
you talking about? You
So
only
you
get one
can't-
chance to live your life, so live it the best way you can. Live it right.
And on that note,
that,
young
Jay.
guys out there, Brian is primarily saying, if you're from the CD, it's fine for you. Should be able to go anywhere you want. You should be able to go to Columbia City. You should be able to go to West Seattle. You should be able to go to Rainier Beach. Actually, you should be able to go to Tacoma without any problems.
Any problems?
If you listen to what he's trying to say, you know, because the way you're going to wind up doing serious time. You're going to throw your life away. I think that's what you're saying, sir.
Definitely.
Don't throw your life away. You know what I mean?
And I think the biggest excuse that I've heard from trying to reach out to young kids that are in the game like that is
Money.
not just money, but it's a defense mechanism because they expect the next man to be coming after them. You got to start this within yourself. That doesn't mean necessarily let your guard down because there are people out there that
Never let your guard down.
are trying to cause you harm. But you got to change your mentality about where you're headed in this game.
Where do you want to end up?
And to that point, that's exactly what I was talking about. So in my life, just the way that I was able to move around and be was like there's a certain way. I got friends of mine that was always in the mix and everything like that, and just by the way that they come out the house, somebody's gonna look at them a certain type of way because they already can sense it and see what they're about. They know the way they dress.
Gang recognize gang.
Yeah, exactly right.
Real talk.
But for me, I didn't have those same problems, right? Because people see me and they don't see that. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest thing or anything like that. What I'm saying
But
is,
your whole
what I'm
mentality
saying
was
is,
different.
it was different. So I could chop it up and be cool, and just be myself wherever I was at, and I didn't have those issues. And because they could tell that I wasn't with it. So but I wasn't no punk or pushover or whatever. And like if I had to defend myself, I could. But at the same time, I didn't have constant drama coming like that at me. And that's wherever when I was visiting people, I'd go down to LA and I'd be down there. And I'm talking about in Crenshaw and places, really bad places, whatever. I never felt like I was in danger. And there was always people around and they're looking at people a certain kind of way, but they didn't see that in me. So all I'm saying is just change the way that you're approaching life.
I got you. I agree.
I agree with that.
And
That's real
I can
good.
I can directly relate to that because when I was in my teens, when I was in the height of, and take into consideration this was late 80s, early 90s, when gangbanging was at its height, right? I was coming out the door with the opposite attitude of what you had. I was coming out the door with the mentality of, who do I have to fuck with first?
Right.
So I don't get fucked with in front of my people.
Ice Cube.
It's funny you say that because, you know, I'm not trying to give myself a plug, but the Emerald City Street Life, my book that I wrote about, I talked about how in my house, I got loving parents, church-going parents. My dad's a deacon in the church, you know what I'm saying? A superintendent, my uncle's a bishop, you know, so we got a close bond, close family. When I walk out my front door and go down the street, I'm in the hood.
Yep.
And it's like, these are all my friends. We're all getting into the same stuff. But then I have those friends who's like, let's get into some shit. And then I got some friends who's like, oh man, we're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? And me, I'm just like, well, I was clueless to what the game was until I learned the game, and now I know the game, and it's like, you know, it's all a big game, you know.
Yeah.
That's my point.
It's like it's a game of going to the penitentiary, or you're gonna get killed, and that's the game.
Free.
Or you want to stay free and survive. You gotta survive.
And life is
But,
still tough if you just surviving. It's
Yeah,
hard
life
enough.
is hard
It's hard
already.
enough. Don't give yourself these extra problems.
That's
Right.
That's a serious
But
topic.
but real talk though, I mean the kids getting killed out here is just ridiculous. You know, they ain't even making it to 20.
Well, with
They
that
ain't even
being,
making it out of high school.
with that being said,
With that being said, don't forget to vote for us for the Seattle Sound Music Awards, Urban Solution, best media outlet, and that's Solution. So yeah, vote. I mean, vote as many times as you want for your best people, Urban Solution.
now we're going to turn it over to our host and let him bring up a topic, sir. You've been helping everyone else out. What Mr. Daniels, go ahead and
What topic am I gonna come up with tonight? Okay.
Unless you want to dip in the ball.
You love that ball.
I do love the ball.
That's your
the ball,
spot.
but no, this is what we're gonna talk about. Have you guys heard about the Susu? And I want to talk about the Susu movement. And the Susu movement is a movement where it's a community that comes together to build money for the community. And it's like you come in the community, you put in 500, right? You put in 500. In 4 weeks, if you can bring in 2 people, who could bring in 2 people, who could bring in 2 people, you build your community up, you're gonna get $4,000, right? So when you get your $4,000, you put 500 back in the community. And all you're doing is helping the community build wealth. And that's your family, that's your friends, that's whoever you want to build. And people always say, it's a pyramid scheme. It's a scheme. It's a Ponzi
Be
scheme.
100% honest. That's what it
Sound
sounded like.
Okay, it sounds right. So that's why I'm here to talk about it. And we got a website for it. The sky's the limit. We got good people running it. And if you do it right, it's going to work. But you can do it wrong and get schemed, and when people can just be like, I'm taking your money and run off. You can do it that way too. But if you got good, trusted people around you, you can build good flowers and you can build good communities. And I've seen people get money. I mean, they got gifted like $4,000. And you start out with 1 flower, turn it into 2 flowers, turn it into 4 flowers, turn it into 8 flowers.
do they have a
Let me
physical-
ask you this.
Go ahead, sir.
Talk to me.
I understand how the model works to be able to
Paperwork, too.
get you a return on your investment.
No,
But-
it's not
but-
really a return on your investment because you're not
Well,
really.
it kind of is. If you bring in people, you get money back for the money you invested. So that's a return on investment.
No.
But you say
No,
that
no,
it's
listen.
it's to build the community. So what is this doing for the community other
Thank
than
you.
potentially putting money back in your own pocket?
Yeah, where's the money go?
Well, put it like this: it's not money going in my pocket; it's money going in the community pocket. Then I get money in my pocket. If you got a business, you got a business. You got a business. Promote your business. But if you build a good community, then you're gonna get compensated.
So-
and you're gonna get gifted.
So I think the question, I'm still not, I don't think I got.
But you have to bring in 2 people.
You're right, but what is it? Where is it actually gonna?
Thank you.
Like, how's it gonna build the community? Like, what? It's just by people having money.
Well, what happens? Well, what happens
Where
is.
does the money go, basically?
Is there like
People
is
trying
there
to figure it
somewhere
out.
that it goes?
Are you guys gonna let me talk?
Yes,
you
go
had
ahead.
me a question. You had me a
Go ahead.
question.
My bad.
I mean, okay. The Susu community is about this. It's been around for a long time. East Africans use it. This is a flower, and I'll get to that. I'll pass that around. It's a flower. But the Susu community has been around for a long time, and people's been using it. Our group is called The Sky is the Limit. And so the people who's running our group, much love to my cousin Angie, much love to Jackie. They've been running the community, and they got businesses. They got money. Okay? They don't need nothing from nobody. Okay, they're trying to help people build their community. So build their money, build their wealth. And so basically, there's people who've been doing it for more money than what we're asking people to invest in. So basically, you put in 500, you get 8 fires, and this is the model. And if you watch the videos and you watch the stuff, you might not get it, but you got to bring in 2 people. You got to bring in 2 people. So anyway, go to the Sky's the Limit and check the web sky'sthelimit.com. Check the website out. It's a Susu community. A lot of people's been doing the Susu. It's been going on for a long time, and you put your money into it and you get money out. So we don't want to talk about it here. We ain't gonna talk about it no more. But I'm involved in the community, and we got a good community with good people, good church people, good businesses. A whole community. You build your own community, how you want to build your community. And you might not want to invite everybody into your community because they might not be understanding. But if you understand what's going on, you're just building wealth for people in your community. And your community could be your brother, your mother, your father, your sister. It could be anybody you bring into it. So anyway,
Subscribe.
a lot of people's doing it. It's a big thing. A lot of people learning about it. So anyway,
Each of us are individuals, and we like to thank you guys for tuning in. But Urban Solution does not. Urban Solution does not.
and we're not asking for money. We're not begging for money. We don't need nobody's nothing. You don't have to do nothing. You do what you want to do. So anyway, welcome again to the Kings of the Round Table. We had a wonderful show tonight. I appreciate everybody for showing up and coming in. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and
Hit that notification bell.
notification.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding,
Smash the
ding.
like button as well.
Yes.
Thank you for joining
Like,
us.
share.
Like, comment, share.
Like, comment, share.
Like, share.
Thanks for
Share.
watching.
Peace. Thanks for watching.
Hey,
Yeah.
tune in next week, 7:30. We gonna be on time.